Hey, oh my gosh, every time I go on live, I start to realize all the lighting is all off, and you could see I don't know, what do you think? Tried. So, tonight's topic is the power of listening. And this is for you, the wife in the house, who does a lot of listening. The one who is dealing with everyone in the house right now, all the time. I'm actually going to work tomorrow. I'm so excited. Because, yes, I'm going to work with the coronavirus patients, but I'm excited to get out of the house. Because the amount of work in the house compared to the work out of the house, it's a lot in the house. I actually get a break when I go to work. Don't tell my babysitter. Okay. So recently, I had this situation where I couldn't seem to get through, like I'm having a conversation with somebody I really care about, and not on the same wavelength, and it's really, really frustrating. I know you've been through this, where you love someone, and you're saying something, and you want them to hear you, but what they're hearing is so different from what you're trying to say. That disjoint disconnect causes so much anxiety and friction between the two of you that it ends up escalating, right? And then what do? You're like, I can't talk to you anymore. So I had a few of these, let's have a conversation, didn't go, and then we just again escalated, right? And then I spoke with my friend, which everyone should have such a friend. The one person or maybe 2 to 3 people that you have, you don't need everyone, right? You need to post it on Facebook. You need one person, maybe 2 people who gets you, who is there for you, who empowers you and is compassionate and just is a listener. And what she does, this one person or friend, somebody who like maybe your mom, I don't know, maybe your friend. For me, it's a good mentor of mine who I work with. So I told her, I'm overwhelmed and I'm so frustrated and I just don't know how to work through that. And so she was telling me, why don't you ask this person, tell me more about that? I said, I'm trying to express myself to this person. So you're telling me when this person tells me his or her stuff about me, I should, instead of defending myself or responding with, whatever, a reaction, you saying I should ask, tell me more about that? Because that doesn't feel like I want to really say that at all. So she's like, Esther, and this is so gold, guys. This is gold. Listen to understand, not be understood. Listen to understand, not to be understood. How many of us come into a conversation thinking like that? I know I don't. When I come into a conversation, I'm like, dude, gotta understand me. You have to understand where I'm coming from. Come to my level. Come to where I am. Or if I'm up here, usually, right? Come to my level. Come and understand me where I am right here. But the truth is, in every personal growth book that you're ever going to read, the first chapters are always focused on how can you transform how you process? How can you transform how you receive? And the key to that is asking the right questions. Because a lot of us speak and we're not so clear about where we're coming from, about where we want to go. We're more like, hey, don't tell me what's going on with you right now. Just tell me you hear me. Tell me you understand me. Tell me you apologize. Tell me you get me, right? That's called listening, to be understood. And what happens is when we do that, and I know it because I tried a few times to try to do it that way. When we do that, when we come into the conversation without a clear intention of trying to understand, we leave the conversation without a clear understanding. we leave the relationship in the context of the conversation, right? In the relationship, not so clear, like, how come I end up with more frustration now than I did before, right? So, the biggest word in personal growth book that you'll ever see, yes, we discussed about listening, but the biggest word that I'm going to tell you, intention. Intention behind the conversation. When you wake up, you have an intention. You don't even realize it. You're starting your day with, I gotta make the kids breakfast. I have to get them all on the Zooms. I have to make sure I buy the food because they're going to be hungry at 12 o'clock. I have to prepare. You're creating intentions for the day. But the real question is, how many of us create an intention for our soul, like for our emotions and how we're going to feel? We don't say so much, really, consciously. I'm going to be happy today. I'm going to be proactive and just look at the positive. Although in the Jewish ideology, we wake up, what do we say? Mode'ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam shehechazarta bi nishmati bechem laraba emunatecha. The English loosely translated, thank you, God, I'm grateful for this day. You blessed me to be alive today. You put my soul back inside me, okay? This is not a Webster's Dictionary transliteration, but this is just my own little translation. So that gratitude that we're bringing forth in the morning, that's creating intention. I read this in a book it was The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. And he writes, every morning before he would open his eyes, he would wake up. Which I also wondered, are you awake before? Do you open your eyes and then you're awake? Or are you awake and then you open your eyes? Anyway, that's another philosophical discussion. But anyway, he said, before he opened his eyes, he was awake. And he would think about people or person in his life that he's aware of who is going through some kind of major trauma or damage or struggle. And he would send positive vibes to that person. And he would think, I hope he's okay. I'm sending him love. I'm sending her happiness and joy. I want to send her good vibes. So what he's teaching in that book, what he's teaching in that morning, just starting your morning off thinking, somebody else has less than me and I'm going to give them, even before he opens his eyes, I'm going to give them from myself a feeling of compassion. He's putting that into the universe. He's literally creating an intention in the day of gratitude. So he's putting forth that energy. He's creating that circulation of vibe. I struggle a lot with my negative energy. I know, right now your mouth is like, what, Esther? Inspire Esther? Negative? How's that possible? I'll tell you. So when you have like a million dishes to wash and the garbage is always full and there's laundry everywhere and like you're not able to read the book that's your inspirational book of the day, and you can't write about whatever it is that you're trying to inspire, you can't do any of that, and you feel all out of whack with yourself, you tend to attract resistance to the situation. Like, why is this happening to me? Like, I can't seem to get through, and everybody's in my way. I'm trying to get from A to B, and my A starts here, and it's going backwards and upside down and all around, and it ends here, and B is over here. I am still very far, even though I did a lot of work. That's how I feel. Embrace, which I'm talking to myself, because the negativity comes from a place of lack of really just embracing the process. Growth is messy. And what you learn along the way is yourself. And I think in quarantine, we're all in this accelerated learning program right now. It's like getting a PhD in 6 months when it's supposed to take 7 years. What's happening is we're all met with ourselves, the weaknesses, the disjointed pieces of us, the frustrated moments of who we are. And like all the kids are around all the time, or you're not used to this type of lifestyle, this type of exposure to the same people over and over. This is a really different motion of activity. And what you're asked for is, are you strong enough to still be or to pursue a better version of you? Are you there? And a lot of us are falling short, which is what they're saying. There's going to be like this influx of divorces right now because people are struggling to keep it together, because it's like under pressure. You have to now prepare a better you under pressure. Like, you got to make dinner still under pressure, all of that. So anyway, I just wanted to share with you my little 2 cents about this whole quarantine. And I think for the most part, we have to give ourselves grace, and we have to re-strategize. Like, in the evening, look through the day and say, where was I struggling only, because a lot of us do criticize ourselves too much. Let us see where we were good, right? Let us focus on that. Let us say, like, wow, I'm happy that I got a chance to spend a little bit more time with my kid in A, B, and C, or that I was making dinner on time today, or that I didn't get upset with something that one of the kids did. Can we just look through our day and just kind of find the good in it? And then, this is something I also read in a different book, which I'm going to share with you. I do this sometimes to help myself. When you did something you didn't like, let's say you yelled at your kids, okay? I want you to imagine, let's say you're reflecting on that and say, I'm so bad. Again, I did this. I can't seem to work out how to be better as a mom. Or like, why do I keep falling into that same toxic pattern where I'm angry? I want you to really close your eyes and retrace your steps and recreate a new story with that, whatever happened. What you're doing is you're preparing new patterns of action, because the brain doesn't know the difference between what you think happened and what actually happened. So what actually happened was you yelled at your kid, you were very angry, you were not your best self, and you kind of feel bad about that, right? You weren't your best self. What you can do to help yourself with this is actually so important. I don't remember which book I read this in. God, this is the guy who wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul. What was his name? I used to get spam texts from him, email. So I stopped getting it. But he said he does this. He closes his eyes and he imagines what he would have wanted to happen. How, let's say, the kid threw everything on the floor and the mom came in, and you're the mom, right? You're looking at all this mess, and he's imagining a new story, or you're imagining a new story of, like, you came in, and instead of what you actually did, you say in your head what you would have wanted. How you walked in and you looked at him sternly and you helped him clean up, and then you disciplined him the way you would have wanted to discipline him, not through anger, but through education. So, right? So, yeah. I know, it's good stuff. I didn't make it up, so I'm just sharing it. I want to wish you a wonderful week. It's Monday, by the way, if you're watching live. Every day I ask myself, what day is it today? Because it feels like, legit, feels like every day is Sunday. Thank God. We have to be grateful. Whatever time we're going through, this is a blessing from Shamayim. So let us be grateful and have a blessed week. Start your day with gratitude and end it with reflection of what you could have been doing better. And I hope this helped you in some way. If it did, it was meant for you. I really, I worked hard to put this together, put my glasses and my lipstick on for you at 11:10 at night. Because let's face it, not going out much anymore. Or if I do, no one really notices. So I'll talk to you all later. Have a good night. Stay safe. Bye.